Hi everybody, it's Oksana. Today I'm going to show you how to make this pendant here. It's made with a Marquise shaped stone. And here's what it looks like. It kind of dangles because I made a little bail up top, like an optional little dangly bail. So if you want to see how to make this pendant, just keep watching. So I'm going to be starting out with one piece of 20 gauge square dead soft copper that I got from RioGrande.com. It comes in a spool like this. You can see mine's pretty much done here, this spool. But the piece that I cut myself it's quite long. I was worried that it's better to be a little over than not enough. So it's 15 inches. 15 inches. And then actually let me measure my stone for you while I'm here with this measuring tape. So my stone is 40 millimeters or a little more than 1.5 inches. And it is an obsidian stone. It's like a copper sheen obsidian. I got this pretty shine. So what you want to do with your wire is you want to bend it in half and find the middle. Here's my middle here, the top. And then once you have that middle, you just want to make a loop. And you can use round nose pliers, you can use other things. It just depends on how you want your loop to be. But basically what you need to know is this is going to be the bail. So keep that in mind, and the way that this bail is going to work is you either want to attach a jump ring to it, or you can do a lark's knot, put a cord like a lark's knot through it. So what I'm doing now is I'm putting my wires back next to each other like this, and this is totally optional. I'm going to do this really quickly off camera right now. But if you wanted to make this little loop stronger, then you could hammer it. And I'm going to go hammer it real quick, but you don't need to. It's still relatively strong. This is 20 gauge wire, so it's just a small little loop, so it's not like that floppy or anything. So after you've hammered your loop, if you chose to do so, what you want to do is take some 22 gauge half round wire, and I'm just going to start by wrapping the little tail end here, but the rest of it is on my spool. It's connected to my spool. I'm just going to do this to start. Then I'm going to trim. It's basically just to connect it. Then I'm going to wrap the other way, all the way down. So I'm just pressing it flat. And now we got it started, so it's going to stay. And now you can go ahead and just wrap this way. Now this is going to be kind of long, so I'm probably just going to do it off camera. I'm just wrapping it all the way. Well, not all the way, but I'm wrapping it for a long time. And let me show you here how far I plan to go. So this is my stone. So if I place this on the back, so I do want this loop kind of like this, right? So then it'll be our bail. And then this is the wrap is going to go down, 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 down till about here. Okay, because then we're going to open up these wires and we're going to put one wire on each side of our stone here. So don't wrap all the way down, because then you won't be able to open it like this. So just leave yourself just a little bit of room like that. So I'm going to wrap down to where my finger is. Alright, so when that's done, you just want to trim your wire and press it all down just like we pressed it up here. So here's my little wire end, here's my little wire end. So that's going to go up against the stone. So this is the front. This way on the back there's no wire ends. So you're just going to open this up now. Just like that. So then when my stone is in here, this wire can go on either side of my stone. Let me show you from the back here. So what you want to do while attempting to hold your stone in is cross this wire over on the front. Just make like a nice crisscross and then bring it to the back. And this might be a little tricky to do. You can always take some tape, some painter's tape, wrap it around the top since we're working on the bottom now so that it stays in place up there. So then the hard part here is getting that nice and even. Alright, and so now these wires are kind of crossing over on the back here. And here they are. We're just going to cross them again. When you're doing the crisscross, make sure that they're like the same height this way. And bend it towards the back, like that. Okay, now it should be less wobbly. And now, what I like to do is I like to just trim this a little bit. So these did end up being longer than I needed, just slightly longer. So I'm just gonna trim them because it's easier to maneuver when they're short. I'm gonna grab the little wire end and I'm just putting it through the loop. And I'm just pulling it through. And same with the other one, just gonna put it right through that loop. Pull it through this way. And I'm just also taking the time to make it nice and even and symmetrical. I'm going to turn it over in 1 second to see how it's looking from the front here. Looking symmetrical, good. I'm just going to pinch that close. See, it's like a little loop. I'm going to close that loop up. Now it's nice and secure. So now you just have these two little wires. You can make little swirls with them. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to trim them. And I'm going to leave myself just the small little end there so that when I press it down, I'll show you guys, when I press that end down, it's going to be almost like in the bale itself. So it's not going to be a wire end that's sticking out. You can kind of see it. So it doesn't stick out the back. It's almost like, just like it ends like right in there. So I'm going to do that on the other side. It's just a way to finish the ends off if you don't want to make a swirl. You just want to kind of leave this. This isn't a particularly swirly piece. It's more of like the crisscross, and I like that, and I want to leave it with the crisscrosses. That's why I'm doing that. So just pinching that down, then almost just guiding that little end just kind of in there. Okay, so it's smooth from here. So here is what that looks like. So you would just take your cord necklace and put it through this little loop and then just make a lark's knot. Like that. And now the other option is, if you don't want to do that, if you want to have your typical bale, you're just going to have to make a bale and attach it. So we'll do that now. And I'm going to try to do that with one of these scraps of wire that I cut earlier. It's just a little over 2 inches, about 2 1/4. Now hopefully this is long enough. It's like real borderline, but if I can just use a scrap, then I want to do that. So I'm bending it in half, but this time I want to actually like really bend it in half, not just have a loop, but just have it be really tight, really tightly bent. Like that. Okay, now here, even though I did my best to bend it in half, one wire is taller than the other, so I'm just going to trim it. So I'm going to be using these bail making pliers, but you can use your round nose pliers. These just kind of help with different sizes. It's kind of harder to get a size on the round nose pliers because it, you know, they just very quickly become wide. So first think about how big you need your bail to be for your necklace to fit through it. Ideally I would do this size, but I am afraid that if I do that, it's just this wire is going to be too short. So I'm going to go for a slightly smaller size here. I think that should be adequate for a cord necklace to fit through. Alright, so here's what that looks like. And now here, these are the little ends that I cut. I'm going to grab this side. You kind of just want to see, like, what do you have enough to do. So I'm going to start with this side, and then I'm seeing that that might be too short for that. So I'm just going to move down to the smallest size here, and I'm just going to bend it. So one option is you didn't close the loop up and then it's easier to open, but I like to just close it. That way it kind of keeps its shape when I open it up and close it again. So I'm just going to put this on, just put this right through the loop, and then I'm taking my pliers and just closing up that loop, and kind of have to do it on both sides because we have two wires going on here. So I'm just going to close that up on both sides. I'm trying to keep it even and symmetrical, which sometimes can be tricky with this. Alright, now it's nice and even. Let's see how this top part is looking. Alright, so now we've created, let me grab my cord necklace, created a dangly kind of bail. So you would take your cord necklace, you'd put it through the bail, and it would be, my little clasp fell off here. That's okay. I'll put it back on later. So it's just like a dangly kind of pendant. Here's the back of it. So that is it. It's a pretty simple design and it's pretty quick to make, but I really like the way that it looks. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.